Hey guys, it's Literature Fridays. It's literature. Hey guys, it's Literature Fridays. It's Literature Friday. Fiction Fridays. Fiction Fridays! I'm so good at this alliteration thing. It's Fiction Fridays, and that means that I'm going to talk about something literature related. It may be my own works, which it actually will be today, or it could be me talking about a quote, or like a book review, or something like that. But today, like I said, is going to be my stuff because I haven't talked about it in a while, and I thought I'd kind of let you know what's going on. So I am currently working pretty diligently as of the past 24 hours to edit my first book. I've already edited it. This is my second edit on it, and it still has a long way to go. But I thought I'd read you a page from it that is actually maybe halfway decent and hopefully get you intrigued. But also to just kind of let you know that I actually do these things. I don't just like say that I do them and then it's like there's no proof, because yeah, like I'm not published per se outside of my blog, but I do have things. I do have things. Where's the thing? Ah, there's the thing. So this is from chapter 2. It's titled The Beginning, and it's with Clara. I have each chapter being a different character. Like Game of Thrones or something, where, you know, different points of view. Dust poofs out as I close the journal. This account must be hundreds of years old. Aaron sits on a bench, leaning back against one of the stone pillars that supports the vines. Yeah, it sure could be, he says, entwining a vine around his finger. My face drops. No, I mean, it's quite the journal, really, he says, trying to encourage me, but I can tell he's lying. I continue, ignoring his tone. Must be about the stories we hear, about the end, you know? And I've got more. Aaron picks them up, flipping them over as he examines each one, fingering at the worn leather and missing patches that I've come to admire. So old-fashioned, too. He lowers his head to avoid my gaze. Aaron, haven't you ever wondered why we can't talk about the Reconstruction? No, and I don't want those ghosts reappearing. Sends chills up my spine. The guild says they were just a bunch of morons anyway. Like most Janshi, he gets oddly uncomfortable when we talk about the ancients. Like by knowing the past, it can mess him up somehow. He's so paranoid. Don't buy into that mindset, Aaron. I sigh as I take the journal and put it back in my pack. We get to read it firsthand now. Doesn't that interest you at all? Well, I guess it does, somewhat. I don't like it though. That book has a working title of Believe Them Inevitable. It is young adult, and yes, it is dystopian if you couldn't pick it up from just one page, because that page is very obviously like that. I picked it because it gives you just a touch of background, but it really doesn't tell you a lot. Which you may say is kind of stupid, but gotta protect your work, right? I also don't want y'all to just like know the story already. Like, okay, so you know when you see trailers for a movie and you're like, oh, this is super funny, or like, oh yeah, this is super intense, and then you go watch the movie and you're like, the best parts were in the trailer. I don't really want that to be this. Hopefully it won't be. It's been quite a long process. I've been working on the book for a little over a year now. I've kind of put it down a few times, but you know, sometimes you just gotta work on other things. It's also advisable that you put a book down after you finish it before you edit, because it can be kind of just blah. And you won't even pick up on your errors at a certain point, so what's the point? Yeah, this is the book that I showed you, and that's exactly what I read from. I am this far in the second edit. This far! To be honest, you really just have to sit down and do it, but editing is not the best part. When you do, it's not as bad as you think it'll be, but it's still kind of grueling. It obviously goes faster than just like writing the book itself, but you know. For instance, yesterday I edited 40 pages, but I was also watching The Two Towers the whole time. The extended edition, of course. But I mean, obviously there are things that I'll want to go back and edit more in those 40 pages because it was more just a general edit than it was a let's focus and sit down and work on this particular paragraph for 2 hours. Because I'm sure I'll do that at some point, as I've done in the past, but I'm not doing that right now. Because right now I need to just get through it. But I'm starting to work on the plot or whatnot for the sequel to that book. I already have a general idea of what I want to do, but you know, it's not happened yet. Like, it's not been written yet. But I'm going to start it at some point. Right now I'm actually working on my second book, which has a working title of Encountering Cosby, and I'm liking that one. I really am. It's very, very different from Believe Them Inevitable. So on my hiatus from editing and or writing the first book, I had started working on Encountering Cosby, so that one's only really been going for about half a year. But once I finish this edit, what comes next for me is a read aloud edit. Yay. That will be really good because reading aloud, you can always catch your errors. It's gonna be my last edit, hopefully, and it is going to take absolutely a forever. But once that's done, I hope that the whole thing will be done. I hope it'll be decent for a first book. I think it kind of will be. Who knows? Who knows if it'll actually go anywhere, or anyone will see it, or anything like that. But I hope that it does. And if it doesn't, you know, I can always keep going and try other things. That's kind of what happens, you know? Point is, it's a long process, but I'm working on it. And I'm gonna work really hard over the next few weeks, month, however long it takes, hopefully not more than 2 months, to get my edits done. And at that point, I don't know. At that point, hopefully someone will like it and it gets published. If you like this video, please subscribe or like or comment, and that's all for now. Cheers!